Ever wondered why Fallout begins with an episode titled The End and ends with another titled The Beginning? Ironic, isn't it? This is how Fallout shows us not to take everything as it seems, even before we press play for the first time. I'm Freddy, welcome to Flicks and Pixels. Today, we're deep diving into how Fallout uses irony to tell us a great story and why it worked. Let's freaking go!
Okie dokie.
I don't remember watching a TV show that deals with irony as intensely as Fallout. It turns out Fallout's very concept is ironic, a future that is actually inspired by the past. Irony is the central mechanism that pervades everything there is in the series. Every scene, every character, and every outcome thrive on being ironic. I'll go episode by episode to make sure we don't miss anything major. The first episode, titled The End, starts off with a song called Orange Colored Sky. Originally, the song's about finding love when we least expect it, and how our lives can suddenly change in a simple orange colored sky day.
Went out of that orange colored view.
But it's used ironically to represent the color palette the sky acquired after the bombs dropped. Cooper's life would take a turn that day. A day the skies would go orange, not out of love, but out of hate. At the same time the song was playing, people were smiling and trying to have a good time, while the radio news announcer claims the White House has no comments about the president's whereabouts.
The White House had no comment about the president's whereabouts.
This song represents two things at the same time: celebration and joy versus conflict and war. It's just brilliant. Music is the first resource they use to deliver irony, and it goes all the way through the end. I laughed when the kids were singing Roy happy birthday. I was like, bro, your birthday is about to suck. Anyway, we're gonna stick to episode 1 for a while, cause most of what they planted was here, so if you're enjoying the video so far, leave your like, and come on, hit the subscribe button. Help a brother out, would you? Cooper refused to give a thumbs up early on. That's ironic, cause he invented it.
Do your thumbs up.
Yeah, given the state of everything, I prefer not to if that's all right.
Why not? That's what you're famous for.
Clearly, he despises the world's current state and feels guilty. After episode 8, we discover he's got reasons for that, as he finds he was used as propaganda and Vault-Tec is the one responsible for everything. This whole thumbs up gesture is ironic, because at the same time it's propaganda, it's comforting. At the same time it could signal everything will be okay, it could signal everything is falling apart. And if things are indeed falling apart, thumbs up will be your last gesture, which could be very poetic, don't you think? Ironically, despite he said people shouldn't bother running, that's exactly what he did, what everyone else did. I guess you just don't give up on what you care about. If you're gonna die, at least you should die trying. What would you do? Close your eyes and wait for the inevitable, or run for your life. Lucy teaches American history with focus on ethics. What if later on she discovered that she doesn't actually know about the true American history?
The entire purpose of my vault was to come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. It's Reclamation Day. It's what keeps us all going.
And that ethics doesn't matter on the outside world. Did you notice Lucy was watching Cooper Howard with her dad? The hero she used to see on TV is now her real-life villain, and the one she praised as her hero her whole life was one of the villains all along, and they were connected all this time.
Where's my family?
Hank says he wishes Lucy's mother was there. Little does she know he was responsible for that. He said that he never stepped foot out of Vault 31, but he was there in the past even before people were assigned to the vaults. It's completely different watching the second time around knowing that everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. I recommend that. Hank admits he's afraid the world could change the Vault dwellers instead of them changing the world. Interesting enough, because changing goes both ways. Lucy absorbs everything from the outside world, while Maximus absorbs everything from the inside world. Different cultures, when they merge, they change each other, just like in real life, and Fallout approached it in such a unique way.
Give me the simple life.
Now look at this woman Betty, so wholesome. I can't wait to see how kind she is. In Lucy's marriage, the music was Some Enchanted Evening.
Some enchanted evening.
They carefully play the song during the revel sequence, then when it turns to violence, they keep the same song. When everything beauty gets destroyed, the slow-paced music and the heavy violence contrast and open room for humor. The raider biting the cake, Steph shooting with a fork stuck in her eye, Monty being killed drowned in a barrel of pickles. This is the scene that sets up the tone for the entire show. Everything contrasts. Everything is a big irony fest. Look at this orange colored sky. Apparently, orange is the bearer of destruction in this universe, cause now the facade is broken. The curtains fall down, all thanks to Cakeface. Way to go, Cakeface. Notice how slow motion makes violence even more bloody, inviting us to pay attention to every detail, face expressions, wounds, and impacts. This f***ing guy Moses, what a coward. It'd be so ironic if he ended the season being one of the bravest. That's how to use irony in character development, giving him reasons to grow and turn into what he's not. So when people say he'll do something unexpected later on, it's hard to believe.
I'm too chicken.
He ends up being one of the most courageous Vault Dwellers. The song Brighter Side makes the Vault Dwellers' defeat feel even worse. It's like when you get your car robbed and that one friend says, you know, the good side is now you can go to work by bike. You could use some exercise anyway. Shut the hell up.
Flesh is weak, but steel endures.
When I hear this, I get instantly reminded of what Tony Stark told Peter Parker.
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, that's
No,
how it
no, no,
works.
please, Mr.
Let's
Stark,
have it.
you don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it, okay?
It's ironic, because whenever Maximus needs steel, he's gotta deal with his problems in Flash, and those with the armor who oppose him seem weaker. Another way to create irony is through set design. Inside the vault it said, building the future of America together, when actually they were the ones to drop the bombs and destroy said future.
By dropping the bomb ourselves.
From a bloody good evening to a clean good morning, have a great day, like you could simply forget what happened. Ink over blood, like you could simply hide it. A poster saying, the outside world can never hurt you, when the outside world has just hurt you pretty badly. They're in denial and ready to go back to their fake life. Then this poster saying, don't lose your head, like Lucy was supposed to do the opposite, to act emotionally, not rationally.
Violence against a brother of steel is a sign of weakness.
Unless you do it yourselves, right?
I told him you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Okay, let's ask this guy what he has to say about that. Maybe if he saw this poster... Never mind. When the ghoul appears for the first time, the bounty hunters plan to use a chicken as bait so they could kill him in case he was feral. But it's just so ironic that the chicken was the only survivor in this scene. That's how unpredictable the show can be. Characters have an ironic nature in Fallout. In his first scene, the ghoul gets out of a coffin. For many, a coffin would represent the end, but this is how he starts his journey. They couldn't have introduced him better. Fallout enjoys inverting tropes, and now the symbolism pays off.
Us cowpokes. We take it as it comes. But us cowpokes, we take it as it comes, right?
The same line in different situations, it enhances the character. Some part of him was still there. It's ironic that Lucy, one of the people with better education on the show, proves she doesn't know shit.
You should know better than to light a fire after dark.
Attention to when the doc says,
Vault dwellers are an endangered species here. You come from a world of rules, of laws. This place is indifferent to all of that.
Like the vaults are dignified places.
I do not think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive up here.
Now you get me.
I think she can handle herself, Doc.
I'm not going back without my dad.
Well, everything in his dialogue happened exactly the other way around, except for this part.
The question is, will you still want the same things when you have become a different animal altogether?
It's a no for Lucy, but a yes for Cooper. That inversion was unexpected. Everything the characters say might be contradicted later on. The Fallout universe, just like our real world, is ironic. The position Maximus aspired for a long time didn't take long to prove itself shitty. The knight should be honored, courageous, deserving of that position.
Go see if the target's in there.
But my lord, I don't have armor.
You earned the suit through acts of bravery. This is an act of bravery.
But they're obnoxious, cowards, talentless. It mimics perfectly those in the real world holding positions of power. Plus, they're spoiled and have a serious case of lacking vocabulary. Honestly, they're just goofy. The plot is ironic, because Lucy's goals are...
Well, you see, the idea is that we're going to save America.
You mean from the destruction they caused themselves?
Serums to heal your feet.
You should have trusted this guy. I mean, sorta.
Oh no.
Feo, fuerte y formal. Means he was ugly, strong, and had dignity.
Cooper was strong and dignified, but not ugly. So dignified he couldn't even agree with being bad on a film scene. On the other hand, the ghoul is strong and ugly, but not dignified. It turned out to be in real life what he didn't want to be in a film.
They already know you're a good man. They want to see that even a good man as yourself can be driven
Yeah,
too
I understand
far
that, but that's
sometimes.
not really my thing. You know, Emil, that's not what I do.
It's so ironic that the Vault-Tec propaganda is inspired by Cooper Howard, using the colors, the thumbs up, and the positivity, hit the opposite of everything the Vault Dwellers live by.
What about the head? I need the head to get my dad back.
Yeah, well, the Wasteland's got its own golden rule.
Oh, what's that?
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
That's exactly what happens in the games. There's always something silly during the action scenes, making it feel dorky and unique. The pickle barrel, the ghoul eating tomatoes, Maximus with a numb mouth for selling his tooth. These are the things that bring extra flavor to the action.
Step away from the armor.
Irony through dialogue also brings unpredictability to the Wasteland.
His head is what's valuable. We need to find it.
Oh yeah, smart. Who do you think did this, the girl or the ghoul?
The ghoul. Definitely.
Okie dokie.
Ghouls. One day the Brotherhood's gonna eradicate every last one of those freaks.
You still want that, sir?
Oh no. Ah.
Dialogues are not always ironic at first. They'll need an extra scene later on for them to make sense.
All 10 fingers. Must be nice.
What about the Vault Dwellers debating about teaching the Raiders Shakespeare, Kant, and calculus, when the truth is they write Philly and government, and these are the surface scholars most likely. Most of them can even write their names. It represents real education, a critique to when schools fail to teach us what we're supposed to know, but want us to know things we're never gonna use. As a society, sometimes we don't understand reality as it is.
I don't know. I don't think it's our job to help these people. They're murderers.
They have intimate knowledge of our vault security. So what do you propose we do?
We can do what they would have done to us.
Wow.
This line got everyone shocked and defensive, but isn't this exactly what they've done after all? They've seen is like real life. They blame us for what they do in the dark when nobody's watching. Those in control were hypocrites. Tweedo D plays right after Norm says he equally dislikes every job he was ever assigned to. Ironically, this is the first time he doesn't lack enthusiasm, as searching for the truth keeps him motivated. When the ghoul shoots Vault Boy in the head, it's personal. The ghoul killed Cooper. The present prevailed. Past Coop is no more.
On behalf of every decent American, I just want to say thank you.
It's basically him, doing the same gestures, selling the same lies, as the credits confirm.
My dad dropped to 128 pounds and he still refused to do anything like this. What? What's so funny?
Well, that's what people say they did, and what they really did.
The ghoul was right about Lucy's father. Everything just fine in Vault 33 as the song Just Fine plays. All of the violence and chaos instantly turned into politics. They really convinced all those Vaulties everything was okay with just words and zero actions. Those lives they lost in the trauma, nothing matters. A comedy scene reinforcing irony with juxtaposition. We look at Bert's painting with the "I don't wanna eat these carrots mama" face and stop asking Chet to wear Bert's shoes when they're clearly small for him. Same with the jacket. Journey into Melody plays during the organ harvest scene. It's incredibly ironic as she's being sold like a slave would be, and Snip's acting polite and promises to fix her finger. Everything feels out of place, contrasting with the shiny, joyful Melody. This feeling is about to get cut real quick, but we still have time for the last note to play.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
Huh?
When the ghoul was watching the man from Dead Horse, how could he imagine he'd be talking about himself in the future, and that he'd be able to see himself from the past again? The man he once was turned into the man he despised, himself. It answers a question from the previous episode. He did take that shot. All that political talk convinced him to go through with it.
I had no idea people lived in those vaults.
What did you think was in them?
Monsters.
Actually, some monsters do live there, just not the kind of monsters you were thinking of.
And I'm from a place where the worst someone can do to you is forget to say thank you.
No, you're from a place where the worst someone can do to you is to leave you motherless, then lie to your face. You're from a place that plotted on literally destroying the entire world just to come out as its saviors. Direction delivers irony in a visual fashion. When What a Difference a Day Made plays while we see Vault 32 before and after, that's the epitome of irony.
24 little hours.
For Norm and Chet to be on the same place together again and see all of those murder weapons in different contexts with both bright and shady shots, fast cuts, contrasting to the same song, it's like nightmare turning into dream in a daytime, except these two will never forget what they've seen.
Well, I may play a hero in the movies, but you all are heroes in real life.
Revolutionizing safety for an uncertain future. It's funny how Vault-Tec always treated the future with uncertainty, but everything was always part of the bigger plan, the bigger picture. The whole, hey, you might need us guys, they're pretending to be naive is what makes them evil. Time and management are the key words Bud Askins uses in his first interaction with Coop. But do you remember Vault 32? Management means nothing if you have nothing else to manage. Whatever happened to Vault 32 was Vault 31's fault. Same logic can be applied to the bombs. Their evil plan failed both inside and outside. Death to management, as there's nothing else to be managed anymore, and further to blame.
Okay. I think it's safe to say they went bananas.
Did you notice Bartholomew Codsworth is Snip?
I mean, I've dipped my bits in the same gravy train. Sold my vocal rights to that spinning robot they sell to housewives and perverts.
Sebastian and Coop together again in a completely different circumstance. And Sebastian was right about perverts owning those robots. I mean, do these guys look like perverts? They do to me. This whole Mart visit was a time travel for Coop. The Vault Force sidetrack is pure irony. Lucy insists on staying and then wants to leave. Maximus insists on leaving and then wants to stay. The characters are constantly changing their priorities.
This is a cult. Same as any.
It's not a cult.
When they meet the Overseer, look at the kind of problems they have.
And we only have one foosball table, so if you want to play, you gotta sign up. If there's no pencil on the sign-up sheet, please let me know. I do have pencils.
The definition of problem down there and up on the surface are way too distant. By the way, look at how this dude wears his glasses.
Vault-Tec's the fucking devil, man.
My wife works there. You really think Barb's a devil?
By dropping the bomb ourselves.
This
Despite our results here, I want to reiterate that a society governed by scientists is the ideal social structure. What happened here should not be used as a case study for what happens when scientists are given unregulated control.
I guess those guys from the commercial didn't work out fine, did they? The punishment Lucy gets for the incident on level 12 is to get banished to the surface, exactly where she wants to be. And in that scenario, that's anything but punishment.
You're just letting me go?
Well, that's certainly an optimistic perspective. You'll be killed almost immediately on the surface by Lord knows what. That's why we're giving you 2 weeks of supplies to take with you. Thank you, Kathy. After that, you are on your own, Goosey. What?
We stole their fusion core.
Well, yeah, but... You know, I needed it for the armor.
Giving it back is the right thing to do.
Yeah, but I can help people with this armor.
Said Maximus, by hindering everyone from Vault 4 after they gave him freaking caviar and popcorn.
You, for example? I want to help you. You really want to give them their fusion core back if it means you don't get your dad?
If my dad found out that I destroyed an entire community to save him, that'd break his heart.
What if I told her dad was actually responsible for most of those very people being down there due to the Shady Sands incident?
So you're just gonna forget about everything we've seen?
I feel like this is a good moment for a fresh start.
You're a coward. You know that shit?
The guy who hides and admits he's too chicken is now calling someone else a coward. Again, that's how to use irony to develop a character. First, Chet wants to go with Lucy, but after everything he sees, he decides to do nothing about it, while Norm didn't want to go with his sister, but sees the same stuff and decides to take a stand.
What are you doing?
If they want a head, I'm gonna give them a head.
Pause, right? How can two people find time and desire for romance while both of them hold a pair of severed heads in a place filled with booby traps and a nerd voyeur?
I'm leaving with her. I am going back to where she came from. A vault. It's a place that's peaceful and safe, where nobody ever goes to war.
Everything he said is wrong. Tell him, Dane.
There's nowhere safe, Max. And there's no leaving. I wish there was.
I bet that outfit makes y'all feel like a big man, don't it? Well, I know, cause, well, I used to wear one back in the day. There was only one problem with it. There was a flaw in the welding, just below the chest plate. I wonder if they fix that in this new model.
Okay, I think it's just a plot hole here. How did the goof forget this massive detail back on episode 2? Come on, guys. It must have been mad painful for Lucy to see her mother in that state. She missed her mother all this time, but in the end, she was the one to pull the trigger and end her pain. Life can be ironically cruel. Now she's off on a quest with the one that was once her foe to hunt the man she thought was family. This entire observatory sequence showcases how Fallout uses irony to create plot twists.
My shadow and me.
Tables turn in Fallout, that's why I love it. What was your favorite moment? Leave it in the comments down below. And for more things Fallout, subscribe. The best places to interact with me are on Twitter and Instagram at SXReady. Let's build a community. I've been giving codes away on Twitter, you might want to have a look. See you next time.